I got here super early today to work, so I was gonna film this video during my lunch break, but honestly, it's only 80 degrees right now, and it's been like 100 degrees during my lunch break, so let's film it now. Well, I'm not going to be like dying of heat stroke. Today, I'm going to film a video that I kind of was gonna film when I filmed that Myungsu video, and I just didn't end up doing it because it was too hot. Honestly, that's my reasoning. It was too hot yesterday. I didn't film it in my car. So today's Thursday, so I'm filming it today. But then more information came out and I kind of changed what I wanted to talk about. Basically, I want to talk about why I think BY9 is not happening. And I don't mean this in like a mean way. Like, I would totally have supported the group if I thought it was going to be a thing, but at this point I really don't think it's going to be a thing anymore, and we're going to discuss why, while also talking about some interesting news things that have come out recently that I've just been wanting to talk about but don't feel like they all deserve their own video. So we're going to combine them into one video and then we're going to go to work. BY9, if you don't know, was the group that was like a project group made by fans that was going to be formed after Produce X101 ended and X1 ended, which I want to talk about X1's teasers real quick because I just watched that too. So yeah, it was a project group. It wasn't meant to be permanent forever. It was meant to be a way for the other 9 boys from the top 20 who didn't make it into X1 to debut. Is always like a rumored thing, but I think this is the farthest I've ever seen it come, because like JBJ wasn't like everyone from the top 20 who didn't make it into 101, you know what I mean? Like, but BY9 was something that, or BY9, whatever you want to call it, was something that I thought like might actually happen because people spent a lot of money and a lot of time promoting it and talking about it and writing to companies and being like, let's make this happen. And it was to the point that companies had to acknowledge it. Usually companies will just ignore these things and they'll go away. But for this, I felt like they really needed to acknowledge it. Also, trying to caffeinate before work, so we're gonna do that at the same time. My issues with it originally were that there were 2 boys who were already in their own group, and I wasn't really a fan of them leaving their own group to begin with, and so them being in BY9 and not being in their real group, I was like, why don't we just go back to Myteen and Up10tion, which we'll get into. First, I want to talk about X1's album and the teasers and the track list and all that. So I just watched X1's album preview right before I started this video. I have to say that I'm not surprised that I like it, but I like it a lot. I like Flash a lot. I like the teasers a lot. I think it's been really good. My only main issue with the track list is the To My X1 version, which I kind of knew was going to be on there, but I just wish it was To My World so bad. Move and You Got It were my 2 favorite songs from that round, and then To My World was my like favorite song overall that came out of the show, and I really wish that it had been in the album. But you know, we got our own studio version of the boys that were in that, and I was just listening to it and I was like, Move and You Got It sounds so weird with the X1 members as opposed to the boys I've been listening to sing that song. But hopefully they grow on me, those versions of the songs grow on me. But the rest of the album sounds really, really good. I think one of the songs is Kantaneo, and I'm not a big ballad person, so right now that song sounds a little mad to me, but maybe that will grow on me as well. So I'm excited for X1's debut. I think it's going to be great. I already pre-ordered both versions of the albums. I don't buy Kino albums, so though yesterday I had this idea, I was like, what if you had an entire shelf of Kino albums? Like, wouldn't that look so cute and so weird at the same time? Anyways, but I'm not going to collect Kino albums. So BY9, a lot of companies have come out, including Woollim and C9 and TOP Media, I think have been the 3 that I've seen that have said that they won't do BY9 unless all 9 members participate. That was my first indicator that there are some companies who don't want their boys to participate, and that was going to be like what prevented this from happening, since it seemed like if there weren't 9 boys, companies didn't really want to, for lack of a better word, waste their time with this project group when a lot of them had their own plans for the boys after Produce. This is first, but I don't really want to talk about this first. So let's talk about the Woollim boys. I feel like the Woollim boys have been the most active after this. And I mean that not because I'm just a piece of Woollim garbage, but because they just literally have been. I would say besides Jinhyuk, they have been, oh, actually no, including Jinhyuk, they have been so busy. They had a pictorial the other day. Woollim is doing W Project 4, which if you don't know what W Project is, before they announced Golden Child's debut, it was supposed to be like Golden Child / Rocket Punch, I assume. They were releasing like videos slowly introducing the members of Golden Child, and also they released Soyeon, who didn't end up being in a Woollim group. I think she left the company, but I assume she would have been put into Rocket Punch because Woollim didn't have any other plans for a girl group besides the 4 girls they sent to produce their group. So W Project 4 is going to include 6 trainees. The 4 Woollim boys who are still under Woollim because Moonjuno left, and Chaejuno is in X1 obviously, so he cannot participate. Moonjuno left Woollim. They just started reporting it last night, but he left like a few weeks ago, so this is old news for Woollim stans. I'm sad and I'm gonna miss him, and I really wish he had stuck around, but yeah, Woollim took like a weirdly long amount of time to talk about it, but are we surprised? No. And then also after Produce ended, individual trainee Ehyup joined Woollim Entertainment, so he is in this group. And they also released a new boy, I think his name is Sungjun, and so Sungjun is going to be in this as well. So there's 6 boys in this, whatever it is. It's coming out I think on September 2nd maybe, and I am going to do a video like kind of reviewing it. I don't do music video reactions because copyrights are mean, but I will talk about W Project and my future like thoughts on Woollim's boy group after that comes out. So look forward to that video, but they have been super busy, and they also had a pictorial yesterday, or a couple days ago, which was super freaking cute. Oh my gosh, like look, I'm gonna post some pictures. They're real cute. And yeah, I'm just real excited about, I think the Woollim boys will debut next year. It seems really short after Rocket Punch, and of course we want them to debut with Chaejuno, but I don't think that's going to be a thing the same way I think that Eunbi and Chaewon from IZ*ONE are going to be added to Rocket Punch later on. I think they're going to do the same thing with Chaejuno. I don't think we can compare X1 and IZ*ONE's future activities to IOI and 101's future activities because the contracts are just so long, and companies don't want to wait that long to release their new groups. So I really think that there's going to be some groups in the next couple of years that have been debuted who are going to get new members from these groups. Like I think Everglow is going to get Yena afterwards. Like that's kind of my thought. Mostly because I can't see Woollim creating a new girl group after IZ*ONE debut, and I can't see either of those girls going solo. So same thing with Chaejuno. I don't think he's going to go solo. I think he's going to join this new Woollim boy group, which if they only have 7 members, it's gonna make me a little uncomfy. So we need one more person. We need one more person to be in this group, so there can be 8. So yeah, Woollim can't do infinite dirty like that and then debut a 7-member boy group. I will be very uncomfy with it. So that's really it on that. So Woollim has been one of those companies that said unless there's all 9 members, we don't want Yoonsung. Yoonsung is the only boy who qualifies for BY9 because he was the only one in the top 20, and I think he was one of those boys that everyone really wanted to be in BY9. Like the next thing I want to talk about is Myteen, because Yuvin and Kukan were 2 of my favorite boys, and Yuvin was going to maybe be in BY9. So Myteen disbanded the other day. I haven't even uploaded my Myteen video yet. Like that's not fair. I was gonna do a video like learning all the members of Myteen, like by looking through their albums and studying that, all that stuff. I was gonna do this big video, and I feel like I can't now because they're disbanded. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was very sad. Their leader confirmed it on Instagram, I guess, and it's just so sad. Like I feel like that is one of the things that happens after Produce, though, is that there will be the members, the company has to decide, like, do we try to revive our group and pull like a new East, or do we go and focus on those 2 members? And honestly, I feel like the reason you send established people to these shows is to revive your group. So if you just disband your group right afterwards, like what is happening? One of many people who was just ready to stand Myteen after this show because Kukan and Yuvin are so freaking talented, and I was just gonna like follow them to the end of the world. And yeah, then they announced they were gonna do a duo. This was probably like a few weeks ago they announced this, and was like, okay, yeah, they can do like a project subunit duo and then go back to Myteen afterwards. And then now we're seeing that there is no Myteen anymore. So Yuvin and Kukan are still going to debut together. They're still going to do their project group. So yeah, but anyways, that's just sad. I'm just really sad about that. I think that silly and they shouldn't have done that, and I feel like the next thing I want to talk about is Up10tion. Up10tion's new comeback was today. I haven't seen the music video yet, but I'm sure it's a bop, so check it out. Listen to Up10tion's video, or song. Up10tion, another boy I thought, like, everyone really wanted Jinhyuk to be in BY9, and that is okay, but he has his own group, just like Yubin. I was like, no, we really don't need to put these established boys in a new project group. That was my, like, main issue with BY9. But of course, if it happened, I was gonna be okay with it. If it didn't happen, you know, I'm obviously okay with it. Jinhyuk, after Produce ended, Up10tion announced a comeback, which is this comeback that's happening today. And they said in the comeback that Jinhyuk and Wooshin were not going to be participating. Woosuk, sorry. Obviously, Woosuk is in X1. He cannot participate. Jinhyuk, they said, just wanted to, like, rest. And that he was going to do a solo fan meeting. And then they would reestablish, you know, whatever. Which is fair, because I said that it probably was just too close to the comeback to go ahead and change everything, and they probably didn't expect him not to make it, so they were just gonna, like, promote Up10tion. And so yesterday, Jinhyuk announced a solo debut for October. So he had his fan meeting or whatever. I think he already had it, or if not, it's coming up soon, and he announced a solo. I guess, again, is fine, and he can come back to Up10tion after that, but I just, like, I don't know. This seems weird to me that TOP Media doesn't know what they're doing. TOP Media are giving him all these solo promotions. He was also, like, on a show. He's been, like, on a couple of things since Produce has ended. And my thought is that TOP Media just, like, really wants to all the money Jinhyuk makes for themselves, which is fair. Obviously, while paying him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that sharing it with another company is not really in their best interest. Yeah, I think that's what they want to do. But I also am worried about the solo debut. And I was thinking this morning that if this solo debut does better than Up10tion's comeback, which it probably will, because there is no Produce member in Up10tion to kind of bring the interest. And I know that a lot of people who are interested in Jinhyuk and Woosuk really just want to follow them. They don't really have that much interest in the other 8 boys, which is so sad because they're all so talented and amazing, and please love Up10tion. I pre-ordered their album. I only buy one version of Up10tion albums. I almost bought 2, but I really am running out of room and cannot break my rules right now. So yeah, so if Jinhyuk solo does better than Up10tion's comeback, I think that that's going to be a signal to TOP Media to just keep him out of Up10tion and promote him solo, and I really don't want that to happen. I really want Jinhyuk to come back to Up10tion and for them to just, like, kill it, and for Jinhyuk to get more than one real line. Like, that's the only reason I'm excited about this solo debut, and I will buy the solo debut as well, assuming that there is a physical release, which there probably will be. But yeah, he's also my bias in Up10tion, so I was ordering this album and I was like, this is weird buying an album without my bias. We're gonna support Up10tion regardless. So all these things happening, I just feel like BY9 is not a thing that can happen. I think if it was going to happen, we would know already. I think they would have said something already. Tony is also doing a fan meeting soon, and Mingyu of Jellyfish is resting, and then I think he has his own things planned, and Jellyfish didn't seem too excited about being in charge of BY9 because that was a thing that happened, and they were kind of like, what? Yeah, that's my thoughts. I really don't feel like it's happening, but I am very excited for the future activities of all of these boys that I just talked about, and I'm a little worried about how all these companies are going to deal with these boys. I'm a little worried about what Jellyfish is going to do with Mingyu as well, because if they add him to Very Very, it's just going to be Mingyu and the boys, I feel like, and because they're not, like, Very Very are not a very established group yet. But also I feel like, what else can they do with him besides make him an actor? They could do that, or a model. They should maybe just do that. But yeah, this video is really long, so I'm gonna go, but thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these things down in the comment section down below. This car's been sitting behind me for literally so long. What are you doing? And I'm gonna go to work now, so I will see you guys very, very soon. I have lots of albums coming in the mail this weekend, so look forward to lots of unboxings. What the heck was that? All right, I'm leaving. Bye.